What's up, YouTube? And it's about time we take it back to Philly. Now, it's the holidays, so you know we had to come home. Now, these next couple of days are going to be about JBM, just blowing money. The media called it the Junior Black Mafia. Shout out to all my viewers. Don't forget to hit that like button, and you know the comments be jumping. And all the haters are always welcome. But if you're going to hate, just have something to back it up. Welcome to members only. Now, this was part of the downfall of the fastest organization to crumble in organized crime history. The streets was hot, dudes was paranoid, those JBM rings were getting melted. See, people seem to forget the objective, and that was to get rich. But ego, too much ego, pride, and doing the most caused resistance. A set of rules were made by Aaron Jones for those who claim to be a part of the family. One of the rules were you only get to pick 2 females that's untouchable. A wife and a side piece that the other members cannot even look at. When you're getting money, and I mean lots of money, those distractions aren't acceptable. It's bad for business, and the other crime organizations could agree. Those who violated the rules will be dealt with. Craig Haynes was one of JBM's top earners. He's from South Philly, but was getting into some serious paper uptown. Now, people thought he was from out there. He was also getting money in the Northeast area. He had a nice situation going on with an interested team with men around him. He had guys like King Tut a part of the crew. Now, Craig would drop a nice bag off to Aaron Jones every week, and he never dropped off a light bag. And you know, you had some dudes that'll mess up money, but Aaron would just say, that's cool. Just know that you are working from behind. And he ain't really pressed people for money because he had plenty of it. But anyway, while Craig was dropping off the bags, Craig would run into some of Mark Casey's crew, and they will always invite Craig out for a drink or two, but he'll always spend them with an excuse and keep it moving. Now, Aaron and them, they took it as an insult because, you know, you had dudes dying to get next to Aaron because he had all the money and the power. Now, the crew took it as Craig thought he was better than them. Now, Craig was with all the fly stuff, the cars, the gear. He had the fly chick that everyone wanted, the jewelry. He was doing his thing. Now, a person could be doing the exact same thing, but for some odd reason, they'll still hate on you. Now, weeks later, Blaze from Mark Casey's crew, he spots Craig Haynes' girl at Tobin's Inn. Now, she was a fly chick. She was nice. She had all the MCM gear when it first dropped. Now, Craig had her in a convertible Corvette. Now, Tobin's Inn was a hangout spot for all the hustlers. Now, guys would get the soul food and grab drinks at the bar. And the parking lot was just like a car show. Now, he saw the opportunity to get at Craig, since they claimed he thought he was better than the rest. Bliss shot at her, she bit. Next thing you know, they was kicking it time to time, right under Craig Haynes' nose. Now, of all females in the world, I never understood why would a man be happy with having another man's leftovers. I mean, I understand we all get another man's leftovers, especially if she's not a virgin, but I'm talking about someone you know. But yeah, Blizz was messing with the chick, and he started to run his mouth. He would talk crazy about Craig in front of his girl, all around his girl, saying Craig ain't this, Craig ain't that. But what that really was is pure jealousy. You got the man's girl and you're still hating. Just a bunch of pillow talking and lame activity going on. But this dude starts running his mouth everywhere he went. And of course it got back to Craig. So Craig will continue to grind and he will find a new connect. That's when it was time to break away. Now, Craig wasn't even finished knocking off whatever Aaron gave him. He just took from his own stash to give Aaron. Now, that's honorable. That was an honorable exit, if you ask me. Now, Craig will go meet Aaron for the final cash drop-off on Germantown Ave. He walks in on Aaron and tossed the money on the floor and said, I'm done with this ish, and walks off. And you know Aaron didn't like that at all, so he looks at his men and say, hey, go handle that. So Craig drives down Broad Street, and in his rearview mirror, he sees a Mercury Cougar speeding up from a distance. Now, he plays his rearview. As the vehicle gets closer, he noticed the 2 men from Aaron's crew. Next thing you know, multiple shots fired at Craig's car. He was able to escape because that Cougar just couldn't keep up with that 300 he was driving in. But that was the first attempt on his life, and that set the war off. Now, when the 2 soldiers report back to Aaron about the unsuccessful hit, Aaron just knew he created a problem. But he was with whatever. He knew Craig was coming, but he didn't know how hard. He knew Craig was coming, but he didn't know when. He knew he had to keep shooters around him. Aaron had the best security around him. He had the boy Squeezy. And yes, they called him Squeezy for a reason. But we're gonna get into that a little later. But he had men that he was supplying that was cool with Craig. So the hardest thing that he had to figure out was who was picking sides. So he had his men keep their ear to the streets. Besides all the drama, Craig had to still meet with his new connect. He always had motion going on. He had blocks that was doing great numbers a day. Now, meeting with the new connect, he had to come alone because his connect would not meet with anyone but him. Have somebody with you if you want to. He'll just walk past you like he never saw you. But the new connect was very careful. When he talked in a public setting, he had his hand over his mouth. Now, his new connect was no other than James Cole. Yup, the man that got Aaron Jones started. If it wasn't for James Cole, it wouldn't be no Aaron Jones or JBM. But the funny thing is that Aaron Jones and James Cole was getting the work from the same source, of course. But Craig Haynes had a crew full of soldiers. They didn't care about who was supplying Craig. Craig gave them opportunities to make some money. So when he got shot, it was like they got shot. Craig got all his peoples tooled up, all the way down to the lookouts. With his new connect, nothing really changed. He saw this as an opportunity to take over the streets of Philly. He was going to take out Aaron Jones and everyone around him. And it was definitely on site. And trust me, when I say on site, I mean anywhere, at any time, in front of anybody. Now, Craig needed a nice drop, and he knew the right person. He knew just the right person. Now, Ski was from West Philly. He was hustling for Aaron, but he always run his mouth and let it be known that he don't work for Aaron and he not scared of Aaron. He worked for himself, and you could tell Aaron that he said that. But Ski put Craig onto a stash house. But later, he would have a change of heart, and he would lie to some JBM members and tell them that the law enforcement was hitting it that night. So they moved everything and abandoned it. Now, Craig and them would hit the spot later on that night, and they found out it was just BS. And they were spotted near the stash spot by someone across the street to see what was really on. That was part of the crew. Now, when the war sparked off, certain dudes around Aaron didn't have nothing to do with the beef. They would see Craig and his crew, and they would just go the other way. You didn't know what was going through the heads of those guys, and you wasn't trying to find out. They was the shoot first type of dudes and ask question last. Now, Craig Haynes' crew was full of savages and treacherous dudes from South Philly. They was only rocking with Craig for the money. Now, he had the most hated guys in the city rocking with him. If you ask anyone, they would say Craig Haynes' crew was a crew full of people that they hated. Now, a couple nights later, Ski and them was chilling in the spot doing them, and there was a knock at the door. They all looked at each other, and one of them peeked out the window to see who it was, and it was Aaron Jones and Basil. Now, when they got to the